Hujampo. Welcome to Bhutan e-learning project. This lesson is for key stage 3 to 5 English, and I'll be presenting on paragraph writing. I am Binita Chetri. So let's start our lesson. The key objective for today's lesson are, by the end of the lesson, I would like you to be able to identify the parts of paragraph. Second, I would like you to be able to state the 3 principles of paragraph writing. Now let's start with what paragraph actually is. Have you all been writing paragraphs? Do you do any kind of writing? Yes, we all do. But have you ever thought, what are the key ingredients when you write any kind of writing? Did you think about it? Or you have just been writing sentences and make them longer and considering that as a paragraph? Well, students, if that is what you have been doing, I am here to help you with all those and clear all your doubts, help you out with what paragraph writing actually is and its components. Now, let's define paragraph. It's a group of sentences related together to develop one single idea or thought. In one paragraph, we just talk about one idea, not more than one thought or an idea. And in a paragraph, there will be different parts. Though it's just a paragraph, yet there are different parts in a paragraph. Basically, there are 3. Do you know what are those? Okay, when you write an essay, what are the 3 different parts that you consider? We all write essays, we also write letters, and we have 3 parts. What are those parts? In the same manner, we also have 3 parts of a paragraph. The first one, it's known as topic sentence. The second, it's known as supporting details. And finally, we have conclusion. Now, let us look into each of this in detail. What do you understand by a topic sentence? It is the starting sentence of the paragraph. It deals with one idea. It talks about the idea that you want to explore in the whole paragraph. So that is a topic sentence. So when you introduce your paragraph, when you write your paragraph, your topic sentence has to be very, very prominent so that when you write the next sentences, it will be very easy for you to have the flow. Going on to the second one, the supporting details. Since you have the topic sentence, which is very clear, supporting details will be also very easy for you, because now the thing that you need to do in supporting details is elaborate. Elaborate on the main idea that you have used in the topic sentence, the idea that was reflected in the topic sentence. You will go on elaborating. Now, how do you elaborate? Evidence. You need to have evidences. You can use the examples. So when you use the examples, when you have the evidences, it becomes very detailed. So when you have these details, your sentences can be longer and you can have more sentences to support your topic sentence. Finally, you have the conclusion. Conclusion, it restates whatever idea or thought you have put in your paragraph. So you restate using different words. Keeping in mind, the idea should remain the same. So you just use different words, but your idea shouldn't bounce elsewhere. It has to be in the paragraph. So those were the 3 different parts of paragraph. Now, let's look back because it's very simple. What are the three parts of paragraph? Tell me. The first one, topic, sentence. Yes. Second one, supporting details. Good. And the third one, conclusion. Superb. I'm sure you must have done that. You answered my questions. Now, generally, when we have paragraphs, we read or write paragraphs, we need our readers to be intact in our reading. How do you keep that interest of reading? If you write a paragraph, but if your ideas are jumbled up, or if you have different ideas, do you think the readers will be interested to read that? No. So, as I said, a paragraph should only contain one single idea. So, for all of us to guide, for a writer, for you all, when you write it in an essay or when you write it in a letter, any kind of paragraph, we are always guided by some kind of principles. So now let's look into what are the basic principles of paragraph writing, and these principles will help us to keep ourselves in track of our paragraph writing. The first one, it's called unity. It's known as unity. The second one, coherence. Coherence. I'm just giving you some kind of gestures of this unity and coherence. And then the third one is known as emphasis. Now let's look into each of this again. The three principles of paragraph writing. Unity, as I told you, it's unity means oneness. It's to deal with just one idea. You have three parts of paragraph. Now, using this principle, the first principle, unity, how can you keep the whole paragraph under one idea? Talking about one idea, exploring about one single thought. So you must track yourself. You must always remember to keep yourself in track with this principle known as unity. Now, in order to keep yourself in this track, you can ask some simple questions to yourself. Is the information that I am writing on the subject? Did my writings go as per my topic sentence? So if you have this kind of questions in your mind, if you keep these tips in your mind, definitely you will not bounce elsewhere but be in your own topic. That's the first one. Now going on to the second principle, which is known as coherence. Very simple. Coherence, it's known as hanging together. Hanging together. It also calls out for order. Now, how do you arrange things in order, or your thoughts, your ideas in order? I'll definitely help you with that. So, this is how you arrange your ideas or thought in order. So, as you can see in the table, the type of writing and the type of organization. Organization here refers to how do you organize all these writings. The first one, chronology. Chronology refers to time. For the lower grades, it's time. Early in the morning, afternoon, late in the evening, and late at night. It also talks about, or it also refers to an event. I'm sure we all have had a lot of events in our school. Did you? Yes. So, if you want to talk about the events that you have in your school, talk about in order. Which was the first event that was held in your school? You may talk about the dates in higher grades. Date refers to your year. So maybe you want to talk about 2014, or you want to talk about last year. So it can all come under chronological. So if you have this order, your writing will have a very smooth flow. The second one is known as description. If you are writing any kind of description or descriptive writing, then you need to order by position. Position here refers to left or right, east or west, so it can be any. You also have to arrange by size, maybe the bigger ones at the first, then you go to the smaller ones later, or you want to have the smaller at the first, it can be any, vice versa. Then you have also the shape of the things. So how do you want to arrange the shapes? So it all will make your writing or your paragraph very promising if you are able to adapt all this. Next, you have classification. Basically, when you talk about classification in higher grades, we do write about the classification of animals or plants or things or any materials. So classification here refers to group of ideas. So same ideas, we bring it together and then explain in logical order. That means explain in order. So that is about classification. Then next we have is comparison and contrast. Whenever you are writing about comparison and contrast in a paragraph, have the similar things one side and the differences on the other hand. Also, you have to remember to keep it in point wise. So you have to use the first point, the second one and the third one. So this will make your writing very beautiful. The next or the last one is argumentation or persuasion. If you're writing about on that a paragraph, so you have to arrange the most or the least important one at the initial or beginning and the most important at the end. So if you follow these steps, you will definitely have a very coherent paragraph written. Now let's go on to the third point of coherence, using connectives or discourse markers. Now we have our ideas with us, we have a thought, but how do we put these ideas together? How do you connect it so that you have a flow from the first sentence to the next? How can you make that? With the help of discourse markers or connectives. So what are these connectives? First one, if you would like to add ideas, you want to connect the ideas together, you may use the words like and, moreover, further, also, likewise, similarly, etc. Second one, if you want to introduce statements opposing the preceding statement, that means on contrary, then on that note you may use the words like but, nevertheless, otherwise, however, on the other hand, on the contrary. These are the words. To show time relation, you want to show a time relation, then you may use the words like then, now, currently, thereafter, eventually, meanwhile. Then, if you would like to indicate consequences or conclusions, that is, effects or inferences. Hence, consequently, accordingly, therefore, and you also have as a result. What are the words that we use in order to indicate order? Next, to begin with, secondly, finally, in conclusion. These are the words to indicate order. Then the last one that we have is to show space relation. To the right, in the distance, above or below. So these are the words that will help us to keep our ideas or thoughts connected. So there is a very smooth flow of the sentences. The third principle of paragraph writing is emphasis. What do you understand by emphasis? We have heard these words many a times, right? So what does this mean? The most important one, the most evident one, the most significant one. So when you write a paragraph, your most important idea has to stand out by writing it either at the starting of your paragraph or when you conclude your paragraph. You may use this important thought or idea to repeat, so that you are very clear that this is your central idea that is carried throughout your paragraph. So emphasizing, stressing on the same thought. So that was the third principle of paragraph writing. Now I will quickly take you through the 3 parts of paragraph writing. Then we'll also move on to the 3 principles of paragraph writing. So we'll try out to see if we can really identify those. Okay. What are the 3 parts of paragraph writing? Topic sentence, supporting details, and conclusion. Then the next one, 3 principles of paragraph writing: unity, coherence, emphasis. Now, suppose you have to write an essay on the topic pollution, types of pollution. Now you have to write in paragraphs. How do you write your topic sentence? How do you do that? Do you write all types of pollution in one paragraph? Do you bring it together? Or do you only carry on with one idea in one paragraph? Single idea in single paragraph. Now, to help you with this, let me just give you an example. If you are writing the essay on pollution, types of pollution, the first paragraph may be about air pollution. So you have to have the topic sentence as air pollution is one of the major problems. So if you have this sentence there, this is your topic sentence. Thereby your supporting details should come focusing on air pollution. So here you may write causes of air pollution, effects of air pollution, and air pollutants. That will give you your supporting details. Then when you come to the conclusion of the paragraph, you can rewrite, restate, or sum up what you have written in your topic sentence and your supporting details using different words, keeping the same idea. So that was a small sample or a very small example. Now we will look through a proper sample what actual very effective paragraph looks like. So here is a sample. Parents can help their children be successful in school by encouraging them. Children usually enjoy playing games instead of studying their lesson. So parents have to take the responsibility to monitor their study and to remind them to do their homework. Parents should also encourage their children to study by buying storybooks, or they can buy textbooks of tapes that help children learn to spell or read. The best way to encourage children to study effectively is to reward them when they get an A's as a child. My experience is, my parents gave me a gift if I had studied well. I was very excited. So if parents really want their children to succeed in school, they need to pay attention to their children's studies and encourage them. Here is a sample paragraph. I would like you all to go through this paragraph and identify the topic sentence, supporting details, and the conclusion. Can you do that? Well, let me help you with that. The sentence in the bold, the words in the bold, that is the topic sentence. Parents can help their children to be successful in school by encouraging them. The sentences in between are the supporting details. So based on the topic sentence, it has been elaborated. It has the unity also, it has coherence, and it has emphasized very well. And at the end, as you can see, a sentence that is underlined, that is the conclusion. They need to pay attention to their children's studies and encourage them. So that was the conclusion and a very simple sample paragraph. Finally, we are here with the last part of my lesson, that is assessment. I'm sure you are all very excited to write a paragraph because you have a lot of ideas with you how to write a paragraph. So therefore, I have here 4 questions for you all. From these 4, choose any 2 and write a short paragraph. Thank you for attending my class. I'll see you in my next lesson.